Namaste. Today I am going to discuss about the concept of assets and liabilities in accounting system. Simply, accounting is a process of identifying, recording, classification, summarizing, interpretation and analysis of different financial transactions or activities to calculate exact result of business. And to find out the financial position of business, we have to make accounting system. So simply we can say that accounting is a language of business because it exchanges different types of news, views, ideas which are related to money or money's worth. And finally, we have to make the financial statement. Under this income statement, statement of financial position and cash flow statement. On the basis of this, exactly what is the position of business that we can find out from accounting system. And finally, the result of business must be communicated to different users or stakeholders as well. So in accounting system, there are different types of terminologies. Already I discussed and I completed the different types of terminologies. In previous videos, you can watch, you can see, like and subscribe about these different accounting terminologies. Out of different terms, only today I am going to discuss about assets and liabilities, how assets and liabilities are very important for accounting system or accounting steps. Assets, the first of all, I am going to discuss about this accounting assets. What is assets? Simply we can say that assets are the properties, things which we have and which helps to earn profit or processing different types of raw materials into finished goods. So assets are very important. Without different assets, we as a businessman, as an individual, cannot do anything in the business. Simply, assets are properties. There are two types of assets. On the basis of time, we can differentiate assets. There are two types. One is current assets and another is fixed assets. How we can differentiate on the basis of time? Yeah, on the basis of time, we can differentiate which one is current assets and which one is current liabilities. Basically, the accounting concept tells us that there is a accounting period for 1 year, for 12 months. So, those assets or properties which we as a businessman can change into cash or cash equivalent within one accounting year, within 12 months, such assets are called current assets. Those assets which business can change into cash or cash equivalent, such assets are called current assets. So there are so many examples of current assets. Basically, different examples. Cash balance, cash and bank balance. Yeah, cash and bank balance is called a liquid current assets. It is also known as liquid current assets. If we have, we can do immediately what we need. Immediately we can purchase if we have cash or bank balance. So this assets is known as liquid current assets. And then debtors. Yeah, already we discussed about terminologies and we have been discussing about different types of financial transactions. Basically, there are three types of transactions. One is cash, another is non-cash, and credit transactions. If we sell goods on credit, they are debtors. If business sell goods on credit, they are debtors. and within one accounting year we will receive cash from different debtors. So debtors are current assets because we can get cash within 12 months. Bills receivable. Yeah, bills receivable are the written statement, written document of debtors. So it is also assets. It totally depends on debtors. If debtors, we can make a bill, a written statement between debtors, buyers or sellers, then that we can change into cash within one accounting year. Then accounts receivable. It is also current asset, same as bills receivable. Stock. Yeah, we can say that stock means unsold, unused materials, which is remain at the end of one accounting year. And we can sell all the stock which is remain at the end of year within next year. अर्को वर्षभित्र we can sell first of all this stock, so it is known as assets. Stock is also assets. All the receivable, whatever receivable is there, income receivable, etc. Prepaid, it is also known as prepaid or advance paid. Prepaid is also current assets. Prepaid, it is also known as advance paid. If we paid in advance, that is also current assets. Or again we can unexpired expenses. All these are current assets. Short-term investment, marketable securities, Yeah, these all are current assets. These are changed into cash within 1 year. यो सबै हामी एक वर्षभित्र के गर्न सक्छौँ, क्यासमा चेन्ज गर्न सक्छौँ र एक वर्षभित्र क्यासमा चेन्ज गर्न सकिने सबै एसेट्सलाई हामी के भन्छौँ, करेन्ट एसेट्स भन्छौँ. सो करेन्ट एसेट्स आर भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट. दिस इज अल्सो वी क्यान से द्याट ग्रस वर्किङ क्यापिटल पनि भनिन्छ है. टोटल करेन्ट एसेट्सको समलाई द सम अफ टोटल करेन्ट एसेट्स, the sum of total current assets is known as working capital. WC means working capital. So it depends on the nature of business, transactions of the business. Then later on I will discuss about, next videos I will discuss about working capital as well. Exactly what is working capital, why working capital is needed. So this topic, the concept of assets and liabilities, is a very important for management students of class 11 and 12, bachelor's level and master's level as well. And it is equally important for every businessman, every business organizations. So we have to understand exactly what is the meaning of what are the types of these assets. So similarly, there are different types of fixed assets as well. So on the basis of nature, we can differentiate those assets which business can use continuously more than 1 year are known as fixed assets. Those assets which business can use continuously more than 1 year. More than 1 year. एक वर्षभन्दा बढी कन्टिन्यू युज गर्न सकिने र कन्टिन्यू बेनिफिट्स गेन गर्न सकिने सबै एसेट्सलाई हामी के भन्छौँ, फिक्स्ड एसेट्स भन्छौँ. सो फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, अगेन देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स. Fixed assets are those properties, things, assets which we can use continuously for longer period of time And there are basically three types of fixed assets. One is tangible fixed assets, next one is intangible fixed assets, and the third one is fictitious assets. So how we can differentiate these different assets? Yeah, tangible assets, tangible fixed assets are those properties or things which have physical existence. In reality, basically, we can see and touch. Such assets are called tangible fixed assets. Those assets which have physical existence and basically we can see and we can touch. Such assets are known as tangible assets. So there are so many examples of tangible assets. Very important. Yeah, which have those assets which have physical existence. Plant and machinery. Without machine, without different types of plant, we cannot produce anything. So furniture and fixture, computer and equipment. Land and building, vehicles. Yeah, these are different types of fixed assets which have physical existence. Really, we can see and touch such assets or such properties. Without these assets, we cannot do anything in the business. We know there are two types of business in reality. One is manufacturing industry, who produce different types of finished goods by using raw materials. Without different these assets, we cannot produce. Next one is service oriented. If even service oriented organization is there, then we need two different types of furniture, fixture, computer, equipment, land and building, vehicles, etc. So these are very important. We can say that these assets are the heart of business organizations. Next one is intangible assets. Those assets which have not physical existence. But such assets also increases the profitability, increases the profit of business organizations. Such assets are called intangible assets. Yeah, basically there are four types of intangible assets. The first one is goodwill. Yeah, it is very important assets. Second one is patent. Third one is copyright. And fourth one is trademark. Okay, these are intangible fixed assets. Such assets have not physical existence, but are very important for the business. You know, goodwill is a name, fame, reputation of the business. If we expand our business with the motto of business is to earn profit more and more, right? If we have a better, good brand, automatically goodwill be increased. If we produce better quality product and provide better services to different customers, automatically goodwill will be increased. So goodwill is a name, fame, reputation, right? It increases the profitability, it increases the marketability of organizations. Then patent is a right, authority given by the government or given by the owner to different producer, manufacturer. On the basis of name of this, any business can produce different types of goods and provide services. So on the basis of this, business will earn profit more and more. Yeah, copyright. Yeah, it is used in publication. Publisher use the name of different writers, and then on the basis of writer's name, copyright, authority, then the producer, publisher sell more and more goods and earn profit more and more. Trademark, it is a brand name. Brand is a name, and trademark is a registered name which is not copied by others, which have not authority to copy such trademark. र इफ एनी वान कपिड, कुनै मान्छेले कुनै बिजनेसले कपी गर्यो भने देन सी हेज टु पे पनिस्ड फाइन. So these intangible assets are also very, very important in the business. On the basis of this, business can earn profit more and more. Okay, then last one, that is fictitious assets. Those assets which have only monetary value, which have not any physical existence. And when business is going to be liquid, such assets are not sell in the market. यदि त्यस्ता एसेट्सहरू जुन हाम्रो अकाउन्टिङमा छ र हामीले एक्ज्याक्टली मार्केटमा सेल गर्न सक्दैनौँ भने त्यस्ता एसेटलाई हामी के भन्छौँ, फिक्टिसियस. इनिसियल फेजमा यदि हाम्रो ह्युज एक्सपेन्सेस छ भने त्यस्ता एक्सपेन्सेसलाई हामी के भन्छौँ, फिक्टिसियस एसेट्स भन्छौँ. बट इन प्रेजेन्ट कन्टेक्स्ट, on the basis of IFRS and NFRS, such assets are not exist. अब चाहिँ NFRS IF अनुसारको बेसमा यस्ता फिक्टिसियस एसेट्सहरू हुँदैनन् भन्ने कुरो मेन्सन गरेको छ. सो बेसिकली देयर आर 4 टाइप्स अफ दिस fictitious assets. Preliminary expenses, preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, discount on issue of shares and debentures, and debit balance of profit and loss, or this is loss. Okay, यस्ता डिफ्रेन्ट एसेट्सको अकाउन्टिङ भ्यालु मात्रै हुन्छ, फिजिकल भ्यालु पनि हुँदैन. र इफ कम्पनी इज गोइङ टु बी लिक्विड, गोइङ टु बी क्लोज्ड, वी क्यान नट सेल इन रियालिटी. यस्ता विभिन्न एसेट्सको, अब फिक्स एसेट्स आर डिप्रिसिएटेड. अलरेडी डिप्रिसिएसन डिटेली मैले डिस्कसन गरिसकेका छु. हजुरहरूलाई कन्फ्युज भयो भने मेरो प्रिभियस भिडियोहरू हेरिदिनु होला. र यो तिनटै एसेट्समा यदि टान्जिबल भए पनि, इन्टान्जिबल भए पनि, फिक्टिसियस भए पनि, all these assets are depreciated, assets are written off, and assets are amortized. Tangible assets are depreciated, and intangible and fictitious assets are written off or amortized. Depreciation is non-cash expenses. Already I mentioned there are 3 types of transaction: cash, credit, and non-cash. Depreciation, written off, amortization are non-cash expenses. So these details is about assets. Basically assets, there are 2 types: current assets and fixed assets. Within one accounting year, if we change into cash and cash equivalent, are known as current assets. Those assets which business can use continuously more than 1 year are called fixed assets. And fixed assets, there are 3 types: tangible and intangible. Tangible, intangible, and fictitious. But fictitious assets are not so important. Duita tangible, intangible. Such assets are depreciated, written off, amortized. Without these different assets, business cannot get predetermined goal of the business. So similarly, there are different liabilities as well. Simply we can say that liability as properties. Liabilities are properties, things. Liabilities are payable amount, not property things. Liabilities are payable amount which business have to pay to others. Yeah, we know assets are always equals to liability plus capital. So liabilities also compared with different assets. Assets or liabilities always बराबर हुनुपर्छ. यदि बराबर भएन भने there may mistakes in previous steps. So liabilities are those payable amount, those obligations which business have to pay to others. On the basis of nature, on the basis of time, we can differentiate which one is current assets, which one is long-term liability, which one is current liabilities, which one is long-term liabilities, and which one is shareholders' equity. Basically, liability, those payable amount which business have to pay within 1 year. एक वर्षभित्र बिजनेसले पेमेन्ट गर्नै पर्ने, इट इज रिभर्स अफ करेन्ट एसेट्स. करेन्ट एसेट्स भनेको 1 वर्षभित्र रिसिभ गरिसक्नुपर्ने, लाइबिलिटी भनेको 1 वर्षभित्र पेमेन्ट गरिसक्नुपर्ने. दोज पेएबल अमाउन्ट विच बिजनेस हेभ टु पे विथिन 1 अकाउन्टिङ इयर. 1 वर्षभित्र यतै नै कस्ट पेमेन्ट गर्नुपर्ने लाइबिलिटीलाई हामी के भन्छौँ? करेन्ट liability. So, the example of current creditors. Yeah, there are two types of transactions. One is cash and credit. If we purchased goods on credit, they are creditors and we have to pay within 1 accounting year. 1 वर्षभित्र तिरिसक्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. If we are unable to return on time, then automatically our creditability, our goodwill is reduced. So, on the basis of our goodwill, credit worthiness, we have to pay on time. Bills payable, BP, accounts payable, outstanding expenses, O/S means outstanding expenses. All other payable amount, all other payable. कुनै payable amount जति छ, that we have to pay within 1 accounting year. Then the very bank overdraft. Yeah, bank overdraft is a kind of short-term liabilities which is given by bank to different businessmen. On the basis of time, we have to change into cash. So, yeah, bank overdraft, it is a facility given by bank to businessmen who have current account, व्यापारी businessmen on the basis of faith. पहिला चाहिँ दिइन्थ्यो, now but in present context we all get bank overdraft facility as well. So similarly, long-term liabilities, those payable amount which business can use continuously for longer period of time. भनेको 1 वर्ष 1 year भन्दा बढीको लागि यदि हामीले कुनै लोन लिन्छौँ भने that is we call long-term liabilities. So this long-term liabilities basically a bank loan, term loan पनि भन्छ यसलाई, bank loan, debentures, bonds are long-term liabilities because such liabilities we can use more than 1 accounting year. Basically, यस्तो liabilityहरुमा the rate of interest is prefixed. Rate of interest is prefixed and we have to pay regular interest if we use such types of liabilities. Basically, debenture and bonds are issued by joint stock company or quoted company. Bank loan is taken from bank, all the business organizations. There is not any fast and fast rule taken for loan from bank. So long-term liabilities are not as a permanent capital. Like permanent, it is as a for fixed period, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But this is not permanent. Such long-term liabilities as redeemable time period as well. After 5 years, after 10 years, after 6 years, such liabilities must be redeemed, returned to providers. So then the third one is very important. That is shareholders' equity. Yeah, it is we call permanent capital. Permanent capital. Yeah, shareholders' equity is known as permanent capital of business because it is share capital. Basically, share. Okay, this is share capital and collected from different investors. This is for permanent nature. Basically, in this shareholders' equity shares, there are 2 types. Already I discussed detailedly in previous videos. One is equity share and the other is preference share. on the basis of nature we can differentiate retained earnings, profit. If profit more and more, then automatically shareholders equity is increased. If there is loss, shareholders equity is decreased, because shareholders equity is totally based on profitability or profit of the business. More profits, shareholders equity is increased. No profit or loss, shareholders equity is decreased. So in conclusion, there are two types of assets and two types of liabilities. Basically, one short-term, long-term liability. This is shareholders' equity is also long-term, but we call this is permanent. And assets again, two current assets, fixed assets. Then same at the end of one accounting year, all the assets must be equal to all the liabilities plus capital. That must be tally. If not, previous steps may wrong. So यो भिडियो मन पराइदिनु पक्कै हुन्छ भन्ने आशा छ। लाइक गरिदिनु होला, सब्सक्राइब गरिदिनु होला। बट दिस इज भेरी इन्फर्मेटिभ फर all management students, either in grade 11 and 12, bachelor's level, master's level, and other businessmen as well. So thank you very much.